So all of a sudden, while I'm sitting out here very quietly, unobtrusively enjoying a icy Coke with lemon, the psychos next door suddenly decide to start getting a little agitated and jumping around like the circus clowns that they are, obviously. And somebody from this kind of rundown, sloppy ghetto house next door started repeatedly coming in and out of that back door and slamming things down on that table right there. And now they're smoking an insane amount of weed, which means that they're having some emotional and mental health issues. Marijuana is a drug, regardless of whether or not it is legal, and people smoke it when they can't regulate their mental problems or their emotional problems or both. People who smoke a lot of marijuana have some agitation issues, emotional dysregulation, lack of mental focus, and that's why they rely on drugs to do the heavy lifting for them, mentally and emotionally. That's a sign of an inferior, low-life being. Relying on drugs, whether it's alcohol, marijuana, or anything else, shows that you're incapable of focusing your own thoughts and controlling your own emotions yourself. It's a little bit like taking the elevator instead of taking the stairs. It's just the easy way out, that's all. So whoever's in this sloppy, rundown, not very nice house next door is getting all emotionally dysregulated and behaviorally disturbed. And for some strange reason, within a few minutes of me sitting out here quietly sipping my Coke, they started getting really noisy, agitated. Now there's a tremendous amount of marijuana smoke coming from that corner right there. Otherwise, it's a very quiet Sunday afternoon. It's still very hot, approximately 91 degrees. And there's no reason for these lowlifes to suddenly get agitated unless they're a bunch of rejected, hate-stalking, BLM, mentally disturbed, no-life lowlifes, because that's all that BLM is, just a bunch of no-life lowlifes who perv and creep and whack off and spend millions of donor dollars on hookers and strippers. That's a fact. Amazon deplatformed BLM a long time ago because BLM embezzled millions of donor dollars, and Amazon didn't want to have anything to do with that anymore. So, Amazon just basically put BLM on the joke line. BLM is nothing more than a joke at this point, and that's why Amazon doesn't have anything to do with them anymore. Not sure where the donor funds come from now, but they're not coming from Amazon's donation platform, that's for sure. Rightfully so. Oh, I just figured it out. The psycho lowlife BLM hate stalking trash in my building that the criminal Russian slumlord provides free rent to in large numbers, because the criminal Russian slumlord are not actual slumlords. They're social activists who use the building complex that they own as some sort of a money laundering front. That's a fact. One of their hideously ugly low-life scumbags, a sex offender named Jasmine Irizarry, gets paid to follow me around everywhere I go because she thinks that I'm supposed to have something to do with her. She's a disgusting, revolting, psychotic piece of sex offender trash that will never have anything to do with anyone who isn't as disgusting, disturbed, and perverted as she is. She can't accept facts about what a disgusting reject she is and gets in my face, literally and figuratively, with her and her hideous sex offender, hate-stalking, psycho trash friends pretty much everywhere I go. It's easy for these lowlifes to follow people around when I stay within the Boston area, which I am right now. But when I go out of state, especially if I go to California, they still somehow show up, which means they're getting sponsored somehow, some way, in ways that are actually pretty expensive, right? Sponsoring a bunch of masturbating, pedophile, BLM psycho trash to fly across the country to engage in masturbating, pedophile, psycho trash activities in another state is kind of expensive. So apparently somebody's getting really agitated in this house next door, and that could be where Irizarry, the perving, creeping, hate-stalking, so-called, what did she refer to herself as? IT expert and structural engineer who gets paid to solve problems. This is where she might be staying. and has been staying over the last couple of days. I keep mentioning that items that get stolen out of my travel bags pretty much everywhere I go and every location I end up at have been stolen out of this house right here over the last couple of days. Same exact items, never changes. The same 3 toiletry items disappear from my travel bags everywhere I go. And it never changes. So that means that Irizarry, the fat, perving, pedophile pig, could be staying in this house right here, right now. And that's why there's such an insane amount of marijuana smoke coming from right over there by somebody who kept coming out and slamming things against that table and coming back in and then coming out, slamming things against the table. I mean, BLM, all they need to do is knock on somebody's door and say, hey, there's this racist who doesn't like us and we need to stay near her so we can harass her. And then all the stupid woke Boston libs are like, okay, sure, we'll let you have our house. And then they go somewhere else and allow BLM to take over their residence for a couple of days. That seems to be how it works. Look it up. It's one of BLM's manifesto talking points that people in suburbs are supposed to vacate their homes and provide BLM with places to stay. That's a fact.